And we'll get this started. I pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
Flag,
to the flag
The flag
of
of the United States
the republic for which it stands, one nation under God,
liberty,
indivisible,
and
justice
for
for all.
Liberty and justice
Okay,
for all.
now, let's do the mission statement. Kiwanis is a global
Organization
voluntary
dedicated
to improving the world one
community
minute at a time.
one community at a time in service to
service
others.
to others. That went a little bit long or
Too fast.
so I'll have to adjust that for next time. So we'll that. Let's see, invocation, I think.
Me,
Okay, go ahead.
bow with me, please. Heavenly Father, let Kiwanis widen our circles of interest within our community and broaden our spheres of service. Teach our members that we need not be rich to be generous, especially with our time. That service to others is the rent we must pay for the space that we occupy. And that is not the intent, but the dedication of our service that you like best. Now, bless us to your service. Amen.
Amen. Well, it's glad to see everybody here today. And nice to see some new faces or older faces that we haven't seen in a while. So announcements. I think the one thing I'd like to have everybody do, and I put out an email. I put out a whole bunch of emails this week, but Hoosier Heartland State Bank has a little bit of a contest running about their Shared Values Award. So if everybody goes to myhhsb.com, you can sign up for that, on the Shared Values Award and get it to Crawfordsville, Kiwanis. I know that they're, the highest one I saw in there was $2,500. Hey, we can use everything we can get. So if you would, go sign up on myhhsb.com. It's for all the nonprofits, but we can get Crawfordsville Kiwanis named in there and see if we can win this thing. The 13th of November, let's see, we didn't have any guests, did we? No, just Coach, which we'll introduce here in a little bit, but
Andrew.
Pardon me?
And Andrew.
Oh yeah, and Andrew, that's right. We've got our Lieutenant Governor. He's part of the group. I think he belongs to our club too, right, Andrew?
Part of the family. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, Jerry.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Hey, Gary,
People,
did we ever say anything about that networking award we got from the Journal?
yeah, I said that last week.
We'll see.
Was it last? Okay, I missed it last week.
You got
Okay.
Jerry. I don't know if Jerry has it there. Do you have it right there?
Yes,
See,
I do.
The Journal Review said we were under Jerry's direction, we're the best networking organization, best networking club in Montgomery County. So nice award there.
Congratulations.
Maybe Jerry, you can bring that to our meeting on the 5th, huh? And show it off.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, good. But we do need people, as I was saying, to help on November 13th to help unload the truck for Nourish. And you can either sign up in Portal Buzz or email me and I'll get you signed up in there. We need.
Is that 9 o'clock, Gary?
Yes, that's 9 a.m. Okay. And we need people on the 17th to pack backpacks for Nourish. Now, remember that we changed the day from Mondays to Tuesdays for packing the backpacks. So those of you that had an excuse on Mondays now can come on Tuesdays. Yeah. See, Don's already got a sort of.
Yeah, I got COVID.
Yeah. So that service project has been changed to Tuesdays, so we'll be doing that.
You can sign me up.
Okay. I'll write
Yay,
it down.
Karen.
Carolyn.
Carolyn, yes, Carolyn, it
Yeah.
wasn't, I thought I saw another hand, guess not.
Who else? Okay, just Carolyn. I'll sign you up, Carolyn.
Okay, thanks.
Operation Toy Box. I don't know if you saw the newspaper this week in the Journal Review. We had a good write-up in there talking about Kiwanis partnering with Operation Toy Box, and it's the start of what we're going to be doing, our big thing this year. So we just want to keep everybody going on that, and we'll know more about when we put out the letters and posters to all the different locations. It'll be collecting toys and everything. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of fun with that this year. So you saw that in the newspaper a couple of days ago.
What's the timeline on that, Gary? Do you know yet?
We really aren't going to start anything that we need to do until around the middle of November.
Okay.
But we will get some stuff out before that. Dave Long is chairing that, as he has for 27 years, but he's going to chair that now for Kiwanis, with Kiwanis, and we're going to all get involved in that. So it'll be an exciting time and have some fun with that. So we're looking forward to that. As I said, we will be having one meeting a month in person in November and December. So the November 5th meeting and the December 3rd will be at the Crawfordsville Country Club. Let me know if we've got about 13 signed up so far for November 5th. So if you want to sign up, let me know. Or you can go to Portal Buzz and just the RSVP section on the event and sign up there. That'll be November 5th and December 3rd. One other important announcement, and doesn't look like anybody has them yet, but 1 week from Saturday is Halloween. So check out your costumes and make sure they're ready, right? Everybody get your costumes ready. Sharon, I think you said what you had, you're going to have about 400 people at your house on that day.
Trick or treating?
Yeah.
No, we have about 2,000 trick or treating.
2,000. Okay. Boy, so Karen needs help. She needs candy. and we don't get any down here, but I'm thinking we do have some kids that have moved in, so we may get 4, move in. Chuck, did you have anything?
No, I'm on the tail end of Sharon's. I'll get just a few less than she does.
Well, for those of you that haven't been around the area down there, boy, there's a lot of nice Halloween decorations. A lot of houses have really put out the decorations this year. They were talking about that in the paper the other day too, but it really is cool looking. Any other announcements anybody has?
Gary, don't you want to announce that the raffle was approved by the
Oh,
board?
yes. Yeah, the raffle was approved by the board. So December 5th, we will be having the raffle. I sent out information to everybody on, or I will be sending out the instructions on it. It's gonna be a fun time at every live meeting we have. So we've got November 5th and December 3rd so far. Every live meeting that we have, we'll be doing the raffle. Tickets will be $1 each or 6 for $5. Because it's a new event, on the 5th and the 3rd, we'll be having a special. You can get 12 for $10. So we'll have some fun with that. And the way it's going to work is you're going to get a raffle ticket. We'll then pull a raffle ticket out of the hat or whatever, and whoever wins the raffle that day gets a chance to pick out a marble out of the marble container. And the marble container will contain, it starts off with 51 marbles. One of them will be a white marble. If you get the white marble, you get to split half of that. If you don't get the white marble on that day, then the money stays in with Sharon until we get somebody else to the next week or next time we meet. We'll put money in again, get more raffle tickets, go through it, but that marble comes out. So your odds get better the longer this thing goes on. So it's just for members. So we've got to make sure we keep it just to members. So we're legal, right, Brian?
Mhm.
Okay. So we've got that going on. We're gonna have some fun with that and hopefully raise some money for the club and what we need to do. Happy Bucks. Quarter 1 is going to be the Eliminate project. So that's who we're taking our Happy Bucks for now. Quarter 2 will be Riley Hospital. Quarter 3 and 4 are going to be chosen by the membership, and we'll discuss it at our next board meeting. We've got 3 suggestions so far. We've got Mountie Mission, Youth Service Bureau, and Boys and Girls Club. So if anybody else has any other ideas, throw them in here before our next board meeting, which will be the first Wednesday in November. If you have any other organizations now that you think we should put in there, then let me know. Okay.
Add Pam's Promise.
Pam's Promise. Okay. We'll add that to it. So there's a 4th one. We also, let's see, who else is happy? Who's got happy dollars? Chuck?
Yes, I am happy. The Crawfordsville Masonic Temple needs lots of work done to repair it, and to accomplish that, we are raffling off 2020 Polaris Ranger 1000, and the tickets are $20 now. There's
I've
the
already got the
ticket.
winning ticket though, Chuck.
Well, that's okay. Somebody else may dispute that.
Oh, okay.
I've got the tickets. If you'll contact me between now and November 5th and let me know how many tickets you want, I'll be sure to have them on hand that day.
When is the drawing, Chuck?
After we sell all the tickets.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought when I looked on their website yesterday, because I was wondering when I was going to have to make room for this thing, and I looked on their website, they said October 24th.
Well, that's the big push to sell tickets. We're going out to Tom's Marina for that event this weekend and have ticket sellers out there all full time.
Okay. Well, everybody get in there and sign up for that thing. It looks, I looked at the temple, the stuff they had online yesterday. It was beautiful. I didn't realize it was that nice, but if you get a chance, go ahead and sign up for that. Get some tickets. Get Chuck. Just bring them over bags of money, and maybe you'll. I'll tell you what. If I win, I'll give you a ride. Okay. This day in history. 1962. Anybody guess what happened on that day?
Cuban Missile
Bay of
Crisis.
Pigs.
That's right. October 22nd, 1962. President Kennedy announced the Cuban Missile Crisis and started the blockade. Kennedy announced that he was ordering a naval quarantine of Cuba to prevent Soviet ships from transporting any more offensive weapons to the island, and explained that the United States would not tolerate the existence of the missile sites currently in place. 1957, going back 5 years before that, American forces suffered their first casualties in Vietnam. Yeah, that was a long time ago. 1939, NBC becomes the first network to televise a pro football game. The Brooklyn Dodgers beat the Philadelphia Eagles 23-14 at Brooklyn's Ebbett Field. And following that, in 1940, the first man cave was built around a 13-inch TV. 1938, you like that one, huh, Coach?
That's pretty funny.
1938, the first Xerox copy was made, and the price of carbon paper dropped substantially that day. Some people don't even know what carbon paper was, but I think those of us on here do.
I'd say most of this group does.
Yeah. 1914, Congress passed the Revenue Act mandating the first tax on incomes over $3,000. And we've been paying ever since. That equals almost $78,000 today. So if you're under $78,000 today, based on that, you wouldn't be paying anything. 1779, the first person to jump with a parachute. French balloonist André Jacques Garnerin jumped out of a balloon over Parc Monceau in Paris using a silk parachute that he made himself. How would you like to have been that first person to use the parachute? Yeah, I think this will work.
Watch this.
I don't know. Also today, if you haven't seen it anywhere, it's very, very important. Today is National Nut Day. It's not a favor to look down the street or the coworker who sings with their headphones on. It's a food holiday celebrating a healthy and nutritious snack. And also for Larry Saylor, who isn't on here today, and his dog Winston, and for all the other fur baby parents, today is also National Make a Dog's Day. National Make a Dog's Day on October 22nd provides an opportunity to give all dogs the best day of their lives. The day not only encourages visits to shelters, but is also a reminder to animal lovers everywhere to adopt instead of shop for a new pet. So if you watched the Today Show this morning, they had all these people on who adopted new fur babies. So it's really cool. So if you're interested, today's the day. Okay, any other announcements or any other historic news? Okay, Jerry, you want to introduce our speaker?
Sure. Larry is on the call, by the way. He was waving down there in the corner, so credit where credit is due. Good to see you. Our speaker today is the head football coach of Wabash College, Don Morel. I don't remember exactly how many years this is. I'm sure he will tell us, but he's built a hell of a program, for a school that only has 900 students, for like 125 or 150 of them to be involved in the football team is pretty remarkable. And they win a lot of games. They're a lot of fun to watch. They have a beautiful new stadium to watch it in, only we couldn't use it this year, but sure I'm looking forward to being able to get back to it next year. So I'll turn it over to Don. He's almost a regular. He speaks to us, I think, at least once a year. So we'll work on getting him to be a member as well. But once again, Coach Morel, the stage is all yours.
And I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody. So Coach, you'll have to unmute yourself. So I want everybody else, they'll be muted.
Well, it's a pleasure to be with everybody today in this new weird world that we're kind of getting used to with Zoom calls and, all that goes with COVID. The college has done well. In fact, we were doing really well up until last week, but we had about 3.5 weeks of 0 positive tests and 0 people in quarantine. Now this week we've had a little spike like the rest of Indiana, but the kids at Wabash College have done an incredible job of, they kind of made their own little bubble, and we did have a tremendous 3-week run. And then I want to tell you how conscientious the guys are about when there is a positive test and they do, and I know we're getting tired of hearing about testing and random tests and all this stuff, but we had a kid that tested positive. He did a community event with one of the elementary schools. So he probably caught it from a little second grader. Then he put out his list of people he felt like he was close to the previous 5 days. And I actually was on that list. We had passed each other in a hallway. We both had a mask on. I took a test. I was negative. But the kids at Wabash College are really conscientious about this process. On another great note, 2 weekends ago, I went on a trip with some Wabash alums. 3 of them were doctors. And nobody knows about the vaccines coming out for sure, but they're so excited about the therapeutics and what they have seen every day, where they get a 78-year-old patient. They treat them completely differently than they would have 4 months ago. They don't go on a ventilator. They receive a steroid, a large amount of vitamin D, and a new drug that has come out. So they're mostly excited about how much better they are at fighting the virus. So that's kind of that's the virus update from Wabash College. It does look like we're going to make it through the semester. Our kids have been going to class. Now, if you get quarantined, you got to do what we're doing, take your class online. But I ran into one of my neighbors. Her grandson is at our rival school, and he hasn't been to a class all year. Our kids are going to class. If you've been on campus, they're scattered all over the place. They're outside, they're in the field house, they're in the basketball gymnasium. But we just think it's so important. It's critical to the learning process. And if you all have a child or a grandchild or a great grandchild, you've seen it. Looking at a computer screen is not the same as in-person education. I do worry 10 years from now, we're going to have a bunch of 15-year-olds that are just behind, or 16-year-olds that are behind from this experience. But we have a new president at Wabash, President Feller. He is a scientist. He's had his thumb on this thing since day one. And I'm really proud to say that we've pulled it off. And we're close. I think there are 3 more weeks of school. The kids get out before Thanksgiving. They don't come back because we're trying to miss not the COVID season, but the flu season too, like many schools. This is the Purdue model or the Notre Dame model that we're following. On the football front, we recruited 60 freshman football players to Wabash College. And I think it really tells you something about the institution. They all showed up knowing that there wasn't going to be a football season. This wasn't the case at many small colleges across the country. A couple days ago, there was an article in the Wall Street Journal. The author thinks you could see between 20 and 30% of small private colleges close their doors in the next 2 to 4 years from this experience. Just they're so tuition driven. I'm amazed there are a couple of Division III schools they're going to play. They've played a couple games this year. Clearly, they're doing it just to keep the kids on campus, to keep them around. They're worried that their football kids are going to leave. I'm equally proud. We have 19 seniors on our team this year who sadly will not get to play their senior year of football. Of the 19, all but one are planning on graduating and moving on to their med school, law school, grad school career. And while it saddens me that they're going to miss their senior year of football, I think it tells you about the kind of kid we attract who doesn't want to put their life on hold for 10 football games. They want to get moving and get going on with life. Pat Kelly's one of my favorite kids. He's a senior. He's a chemistry major. He's going to go to dental school. he's a very good football player too. He told me, Coach, I've got to go on to dental school. I'm afraid I will have forgotten all my organic chemistry in a year if I don't go right now. So, and they've had a great attitude about this whole thing. No whining, no crying. These are the cards they were dealt, and they are making the absolute best out of it. As it was mentioned, if you haven't driven by and seen it, our stadium is absolutely stunning. My wife was over there the other day. She couldn't believe the furniture upstairs, how nice it is. Up in the suite club level, if you will, we have the ability to hold a dinner for up to 80 people. The decision to knock down the visitor bleachers was a little controversial, but now it makes complete sense. The view of the campus from the stadium is stunning, just stunning. And I think way beyond, you know, if you think about the football, we play 5 games a year there in the fall. That's it. It's about 15 hours of football in a year. But the ability to host dinners and events up in that stadium space, there's a full kitchen up there. It is going to be really, really nice. And then just the view of the campus from the stadium is fantastic. And it really highlights, and I may have discussed this the last time we talked, but that stadium project is a product of 4 alums getting together, each guy pitching in $3 million on a completely anonymous basis. And I've learned with the fundraising stuff, a lot of people say, hey, I'm going to give this money anonymously, but make sure people know who gave the money. Okay. These guys aren't that way at all. Just class act all the way through. We've also installed a new track and a new football field with that. We take possession of the stadium, I'm going to say later next week. It will be completely ours. The construction will be complete. There's always a punch list where you got to go back and fix a light switch or whatever. But that will be a tremendous new addition to the campus at Wabash football. We have done 0 football activities thus far this year, none. And I'm confident in that decision. We are going to try and get out on the field maybe next week a little bit so the kids can see each other and have a little fun. We're not going to kill them or do heavy conditioning or anything like that. Let them have some fun in the stadium. Our biggest point of emphasis is just getting the guys through the rest of the school year and then getting them home. And I'm going to lie and talk a little bit more about the COVID thing real quick from the doctors I spent time with. They have a concern, one, about Thanksgiving. When kids and families get back together, you're probably going to see a spike again. Christmas, when families and kids get back together and families get together, it's another opportunity. Even New Year's Eve is another opportunity. So we do have some hills to climb still, but they are confident in the progress and what they've seen at their hospitals. So Gary, if it's okay with that, I'm happy to answer some questions.
Sure.
Is
If
there any
anybody wants to ask,
discussion
just
about
hit
doing
your space bar and it'll open it up for you to talk.
Don, is there any discussion about, Scott Feller mentioned that they may be looking at a spring season. Have you guys given any thought to that?
We have, and we have prepared for everything in the last 6 months, and none of it's happened, which is the world. You know, we don't know what next Tuesday looks like. So I think there's a very slim chance of wrestling, basketball occurring this winter, unless something dramatically changes with the virus. Our kids are going to come back January 25th. So now you're talking about 28 days in February, March, April, and then they're out that first week in May. So I don't think that's realistic. If I could dream for anything, it would be 15 days of some spring practice. Just because the kids are going to be so rusty, it's very similar to a guy that has a knee injury and he misses a year of football and then he returns the following fall. He's so rusty. It takes 3 weeks to get the muscle memory back and all the motor skills back. So in a perfect world, I'll take 10 days of practice in the spring. Our kids go home and then we have a way better handle on COVID.
How is recruiting going so far this year?
Really weird. So it's all Zoom. So like we're doing now, if you can picture yourself as a parent and your kid, you're 17 or some of them are 16-year-old. Your 16-year-old is in the family room on a Zoom call with an adult male. This is weird. And you see the parents popping their head in the screen trying to, I'm saying, Mom can join. We believe when our kids leave in November, we'll be able to have our recruiting groups on campus in December for a couple of weeks. Every year we're given a charge to recruit 60 football players. We've not failed at that since I've been at Wabash, and we're going to make sure that happens. Last year's freshman class, they get better every year. The 60 freshmen we had an average GPA of 3.69, which is extraordinary. We also had 24 players with a 3.9 or better. So we also had a player with a 4.8 GPA. So we continue to attract absolutely outstanding students. And many of you may have heard this, but I hate to use the word pitch, but I will. Our recruiting pitch is, the school is really hard and we don't have any girls. Are you interested? And that just gets rid of about 70% of the guys that wouldn't be serious about it. Also, we let them know that we are a horrible party school. And our guys, I know our guys are having fun on the weekend, but we are not at the same level of some of our competitors in the party business. And again, that vets out another 20% of the guys that don't want to be there. You really need to want to be at Wabash College to handle the academic rigor. And then when you couple that with the football rigor too, or any athletic rigor. Last year, our incoming class, 72% of our incoming class planned on participating in athletics. So it is an athletically driven school. There's no doubt about that. But you're not going to get a break either on the academic side.
Any other questions from anybody? I think it's a great opportunity here, and Coach here.
Gary, I got a question for the coach. Coach, what does it look like for you? We're talking about the students having a whole change of not practicing, getting rusty. What's it like for you with all the changes? What's your day look like?
So, and thank you, Andrew. I should have mentioned this too. I have 6 full-time assistant coaches. So we've all been assigned different duties. Omi Olmstead is a member of our care team, which is the COVID task force on campus. 3 other coaches have groups of 12 people, not players, just 12 students that they check in on a daily basis. They ask them it's via text, but they ask them their temperature, how they're feeling. With 880 students, we can really be all over this thing, and we have. I myself have been assigned, and I really enjoy it too, to connect or reconnect with some of our alums in and out of the area. I actually had breakfast with Stan Parrish, who was the football coach in the 80s, up in Ann Arbor maybe a month ago. And it's been a really nice time. I've had lunch with Rem Johnson and our Fort Wayne alums on 2 different occasions too. So you have to take advantage of it. And then the last thing I'll say on that, Andrew, to stay sane, and the college likes me to be on campus maybe 1 day a week. They don't want people around who don't need to be there. And this is the first time in 33 years I don't have a football season. But I fill 2.5 hours of my day just going for a walk. And you can make this a positive thing or a negative thing, how you want to fill your cup. But I have lost 30 pounds. So clearly this has been a good deal. But you got to fill your cup with something. And I tell that to our kids too. They can stare at their phone, which is treacherous. Twitter is an absolute dumpster fire. Or they can get better at some part of their life. Our kids have been lifting weights, and real quick for the guys in here that care about this stuff, or the women, I think the smallest guy on our offensive line next fall will be 6'2", 285 pounds. He will be the small guy. The kids have really funneled their energy into lifting weights and drinking chocolate milk.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Coach, what do you see with the Big Ten opening up? What do you any impressions there?
It's interesting how the country is so divided on this issue. If you look at a football game, the other day, Oklahoma played Texas maybe 2 weeks ago, and they had 28,000 people in the stadium. They were spread out. The Big Ten isn't allowing any fans, 0. So I'm fascinated by the geographical rift in the country. And then LSU came off their mask mandate. Now we've had a spike. They may haven't put it back on, but you could actually go to the game without a mask on. It was also fascinating. The athletic director at Ohio State 2 months ago let everybody know they weren't playing football to keep the football players safe. And safety is the #1 value. Safety, safety, safety. What he didn't disclose is his son plays on a football team in the SEC and had played 2 days before. So it's uncharted water all the way around. I think you got to be careful. To answer your question, it's going to be great for the Big Ten to play. So people at home, it's fun to watch a football game. It's something to look at. It's fun to watch a baseball game. I'm not a baseball fan, and I watched the World Series last night just to see some baseball. So I think this country needs a nice distraction, and sport is doing a good job of providing it.
Good. Anybody else?
This is off the subject of football, but when I was a student at Wabash, this was during the Vietnam War, and obviously politics were a big topic of discussion. Since we're in the political season right now, what's the kind of the temperature of the water politically among the student body?
We're in a weird cycle, I think, across the country, and I'm a straight shooting guy. If you're a Trump supporter on a college campus, you don't say it. I think our campus tilts to the Republican side, to the conservative side. Our faculty, I think, has been pretty good. Most college again, I'm a straight shooter, folks. Most college faculties are nuts. They're crazy. Wabash College, they play it down the middle. We have a few faculty members who've espoused their political views, or they discuss it in the classroom. And then I do use the bully pulpit I have, and when they come out to the football field and somebody says that the Constitution is unconstitutional, they get to hear my view on it for the next 10 minutes. And I've mentioned this before in the Kiwanis talk, my previous institution where I was an alum and I could have been a head football coach forever, I left because it was so politically tainted. It was in California. I'm very proud to work at Wabash College where we don't muddle in those waters. Now, the next 2 weeks is going to be tricky because it's really going to heat up. But I think our kids are respectful of one another. And again, our faculty, for the most part, not all of them, but for the most part, they're not giving you their own views. The best professors I had in college, you had no clue whether they were a Republican or a Democrat, a liberal or conservative. And I think we're in line with that. We did have somebody hang a Trump flag off the construction rig at the new stadium. So that was kind of the hubbub. That's been about it, though.
Good. Anybody else? Okay, Coach, thank you so much for being here today. We really appreciate it. It's always great to hear from you and see what's going on there at Wabash. And I appreciate all the input and everything today. And we will be sending you an application.
Please do. And again, I've said this before, I will never forget the trip the Kiwanis Club paid for me to take before my senior year in high school. It changed my life. And that was in Lindsay, California, population 4,800. And someday I promise I will be, when it slows down a little bit, I will be a Kiwanis member. I really appreciate all the stuff you guys do. And it does help people. And you're looking at one of them. It does change lives.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you again, Coach. Thank you very much. Next week's meeting will be on Zoom again. And Coach, if you want to join, that's great. Our speaker will be Jim Amadon, Chief of Staff and Secretary of Wabash College. Don't forget to get out there and vote. You know, everybody can vote right now. I know I see these signs that I don't know where it's being posted, I guess up at the 4-H building and everything, how many people have early voted, but it's fantastic to see the numbers and it's great to see that now. So if you haven't, get out there and vote. We need everybody to do that. I think there was, I think the last thing I saw, there's like 18 or 19,000 people that are registered that haven't voted yet in Montgomery County. So if you're one of them, get out there. Wear your mask, stay safe. Quote of the day. The first question which the priest and the Levite asked was, if I stop to help this man, what will happen to me? But the Good Samaritan reversed the question. If I do not stop to help this man, what will happen to him? Martin Luther King Jr. So, you know, our whole goal is service, and we need to be out there serving these kids and helping them through all of this time. One of the things that hits me so hard is to hear the issues going on with kids in the mental issues that are happening right now. It's tough. And, you know, if we see a kid like that or see a college guy walking down the street and, you know, he's looking like he's down, say hello, talk to everybody and tell them that we're their friends. We can help. So thanks a lot, everybody. Thanks for joining. Any other comments, questions, complaints? The complaints we send to Andrew, If anybody has any other issues, go ahead.
I'll take them. Great meeting.
Thanks. Okay, all,
Everybody.
we'll sign off. Take
Bye,
care.
everyone.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye, everyone. Have a good week.
Thanks, Coach.